Do you want to retire early? If so, chances are the 4% rule is going to be your best ticket to an early retirement. This is because the math behind the 4% rule basically tells you how much money from your investments you can spend in retirement without it ever running out. Today, we're going to discuss the 4% rule, how to apply it to your investments, and walk you through how you can use it to retire early. Let's start with the concept of the 4% rule. Then let's get into the requirements and the assumptions that are needed to minimize your risk. Basically, at a high level, the 4% rule states that if your money is properly invested, you can withdraw 4% of your investment portfolio each year without your nest egg actually decreasing in value. The logic behind this is that your remaining investments are going to grow over the course of the year to return you to the same wealth level that you had before taking out that 4%. And that even takes into account inflation. So basically, if you can live off 4% or less of what you have invested, you're in a good position to retire without the risk of running out of money. Let's do a quick example. Let's say you have $3 million invested. 4% of that comes out to $120,000. So according to the 4% rule, you should be able to take out $120,000 every year and still maintain a $3 million portfolio, since your remaining investments should grow back that $120,000 that you took out. Similarly, you can use this principle to walk backwards to determine what age you'll be able to retire. This technique is incredibly popular within the FIRE community, which stands for Financial Independence Retire Early. And that's because if you can figure out how much you need to have invested to live comfortably in retirement, you can use that to determine how many more years you need to work to retire early, or at least how many years before you can transition to a less stressful or less time-sucking career. To show you how this is done, let's say you'll need $100,000 each year in retirement, and you want to determine how much money you'll need to have invested before you can be in the spot to withdraw this and quit working and retire. The way you can calculate this is to take that $100,000 you expect to need annually in retirement and divide that number by 0.04, which represents 4%. In this example, that comes out to $2.5 million, meaning that once you hit an investment portfolio of $2.5 million, you'll be able to retire. You can then use this number as your target and determine at your current investment rate how many years of investing it will take you to reach that goal. But in order for the 4% rule to work, it's very important to understand the assumptions and the investing building blocks this is built on, so that you don't have a risky investment shatter your strategy and cause you to run out of money. The math behind the 4% rule is based on the actual market performance over a 66-year period from 1926 to 1992. The assumption here is that the market will continue to perform at a similar rate in the future. When this principle was being established, it's also important to consider that the mathematicians behind this considered retirement to last 30 years. With the FIRE community, many of us are planning for a much longer retirement period. This means that you need to consider that those added years also add uncertainty and curveballs that may affect your outcome. Because of this, it's best to have the bulk of your investments in diversified funds that don't overcommit you to certain companies or industries. This is because if a certain sector or company tanked, you don't want this to completely throw off your FIRE strategy. Many FIRE enthusiasts recommend index funds like VTSAX that track the total US stock market, offering great diversification, an amazing historic track record, and minimal fees that eat into your returns. I'll link a video up here, which just so happens to be my first video ever, where I talk about how to buy VTSAX in Vanguard. Additionally, in recent years, many investment gurus and financial institutions have come out claiming that the 4% rule is dead. This might sound scary, but it's actually a good thing. They're saying that the 4% rule may be overly conservative, and that you can probably take out a greater percentage each year and still not run out of money. The original 4% rule's founder upped his prediction to 4.5%, while other experts believe you can actually take out up to 7% and still not run out of money in retirement. At the end of the day, it's up to you how much you want to choose, but for me, I'd rather plan for the 4% rule, and worst case, I'm overprepared and have more money than anticipated in retirement. Please leave me a comment below on what your thoughts are on the 4% rule. I really do love hearing from you guys. And if this video helped you out at all, please consider hitting the like button on this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Bye.